guys, C here. Thank you so much for clicking to join me in today's video. Let's get into some chit chat. It's been a minute since I've done a Friday Sews chit chat, and as I've told you before, I'm almost certain my family and friends get sick of hearing me ramble on and on about sewing, so it's a great thing that I have you guys. Okay, now I do have my notes to keep me succinct. Now, I want to share my upcoming plans and fabrics with you guys, but I'm going to create a dedicated video for that, and that will drop very soon. So, if not the same weekend as this video, then next weekend you should probably anticipate seeing that. And I also have a recent makes video that's coming out around this time frame. So, if it's already dropped, I will leave the link below. And then if it hasn't dropped, expect to see that in the week or two coming, probably within the week. The last month or two have been quite productive, and definitely feeling the creative high and enjoying myself. I've had a lot of highs and lows, and I've tried to document those as best as I can. So I hope you guys are watching those videos and that you are enjoying them, because I've been enjoying making them and sharing them, and sharing that type of transparency. I think when I started sewing, I think it would have been comforting to see other people struggle. So I didn't feel so out of place. We live in this world where everyone wants to portray perfection, and things are not perfect. So I try to be transparent because that's just me, okay? And I hope you guys appreciate it. I always get a lot of love in the comments for it. And that comforts me too, because, you know, sometimes I'm a little down. Sometimes my confidence is a little hit when things don't work out. So I like that we can converse and just vibe. I appreciate that. So, as of now, the time that I am filming this video, I have completed 2 of my 9 makes for the Make 9 challenge. Now, if those makes do not get a little easier, it's going to be a very long year, because these first 2 have definitely whooped my behind, and they have whooped my behind in more ways than one. So, if they don't get better, I don't give up. It's not my character to give up, but I will come up with a shortcut to get myself out of things. So we're gonna stay steadfast, and we keep pushing. For March, I probably will start working on my 3rd make, and that challenge is going to be creating a pair of jeans. I've already picked out the pattern to help me out. It is a Mimi G. It's a simplicity pattern. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, and I don't want to go fumbling for it. I've also sourced my denim, and I found that at a great price too. It's a great price point for a good quality pair of jeans, as well as a good price point that if it doesn't work out, I won't feel like I've wasted so much money. So make number 3 is coming up in March. I will be documenting that. I've already documented and published make 1. Make 2 is currently in an editing process. So you guys haven't seen it yet, but it will be dropping soon. And make 3, I haven't started at all yet. So when I do, give me a couple weeks and you guys should see that. If you want to know what's going on with me in real time though, definitely make sure that you check out my Instagram. I am very active there, and I'm quite responsive to comments and shares and DMs and things like that. That is my progress on the Make 9 challenge. I am not liking the challenge thus far, but I am pushing through. So now, in addition to the jeans, I have gone on a bit of a fabric frenzy. I have picked up a series of fabrics. I try to get out of that habit. So prior to my sewing hiatus, I did have a bedroom that was dedicated to sewing, and one full corner was loaded in fabrics. And to this day, even though I have minimized those fabrics tremendously to, you know, my one little container that I showed you guys in the last couple of videos, even though I've minimized it to that small amount, I still have fabrics from Hancock Fabrics. That's how old those fabrics are. Hancock fabrics. If you know, you know. So I don't want to get into the habit of hoarding fabric again, because it's going to sit there for years and years and years on end, because every time I go into the fabric store, I'm going to see something that I want. So nowadays, I try to shop a little wiser when it comes to my sewing projects. And so I either have a project in mind or a pattern in mind, and that is when I go to shop for fabrics. I am shopping out of my pattern stash, and I'm shopping out of my fabric stash first, and if my fabric stash doesn't have it, then I'll go to the fabric store and look for those suggested fabrics and the amount that I need specifically. That is what helps me. I sew in my she shed. Everything has to have a small footprint in here. I can't have a ton of fabric like I did before. That leads me to the next thing. I've gotten a little crazy with the patterns. So last year was my first year working with a commercial pattern successfully. And so I worked with I worked with a little over a dozen commercial patterns last year. And I had great success with all of them. Yes, all of them. Even if some of them weren't perfect, I still had great success with them. So now, I'm loving the commercial patterns. I'm loving the commercial patterns because it pushes me. I get to work with different silhouettes. I am learning new skills and new techniques, and that is really exciting for me. I taught myself how to sew by using my own clothing as patterns, or using my own clothing as a prototype. And so now that I have an actual silhouette or an actual prototype I can feed off of, it's allowing my Memade wardrobe to be a little more versatile. And so that's what I like about the commercial patterns, and that's why I've been purchasing them. I've been purchasing a lot. This year alone, I have purchased tons. I'm talking about probably, I don't know, maybe 3 dozen patterns in 2024 alone. So I'm good right now. I think I'm good. I enjoy the $1.99 pattern sales. I've even gone so far as to order them off of simplicity.com multiple times. I've probably gotten about 4 dozen patterns this year. Either way, I now have a dedicated bookshelf. It's a bookshelf that was in the house that we weren't using. I wasn't going to trash it, and I didn't want it sitting in the garage, so I went ahead and brought it into the she shed. I figured I would use it for some form of storage. Ironically, I was able to put my commercial patterns on there, and it is working out great. And now we're at the point where I'm going to stop because I don't want it to get too full and take over. So, in addition to me not wanting the fabric to take over the she shed, I don't want the patterns to take over either. Everything has to have a small footprint in here because it just does. I can't function in the clutter. I don't need a lot going on. I say all that to say I have a ton of pattern hauls that are coming your way. You've already seen McCall's. By the time this video has come out, you might have also seen Simplicity. And I also have a new look pattern haul coming. Now, I could take it one step further and do another McCall's pattern haul because I ended up getting another dozen here today. But I'm not gonna share that. That's enough of that. I think I'm good on the patterns, hopefully for the rest of the year. However, I do want to get into some indie patterns. You guys have mentioned to me some great patterns or indie pattern companies to take a look at, and so I do want to get into that. However, when it comes to PDFs, you guys didn't tell me these PDFs are like 40 and 50 pages long. Am I missing something? I saw that there were some free patterns on Mood.com, the infamous Mood fabrics from Project Runway. So I requested a few of those. I go to print them out, and it's like 48 pages. Oh, no. Because in addition to my ink and all my paper, who is cutting out and taping 48 pages? Am I missing something? Is there a better way to print them? Or is it maybe just that Mood has a lot of pages? Help me out, please. You guys let me know in the comments what I'm missing, what I'm doing wrong, or if that's the normal. Because we might just have to stick with commercial patterns. In addition to the jeans for my Make 9 challenge, I want to start working my way into creating a more staple wardrobe for my closet. So right now, I'm just sewing just off whimsy, fabrics or patterns that I like. I'm just sewing them for the fun of it. But now I really want to dive into curating a me-made wardrobe that is very versatile, that has staple pieces, pieces that are going to get great wear year-round. And so that is, you know, basic tops or basic bodysuits. I like bodysuits. Or skirts, like a denim skirt or a pair of slacks, black or navy slacks. Of course, a pair of jeans, which hopefully that works out so I can create another pair, maybe a pair of dark denim jeans. A blazer. I want to create more staple pieces for my me-made wardrobe, and so that hopefully you guys will see that in the future, in the near future, because I do want to start working on that. Now you'll have some recent makes from February, and then you'll have recent makes from March, and I think my recent makes in April video will probably be more staple pieces. So definitely look out for that. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure that you are subscribed and you come back for that if that's something that you're interested in. Now, outside of the apparel, there are a couple of non-apparel projects that I want to get my hands on. The first of which is I want to create some blankets for my boys. Now, for my daughter, I made her a blanket, 2 baby blankets, and one of which she still uses. Now, the daycare lost the other one. And that was the first one that I made. And so that was it was sentimental. I didn't realize it was sentimental to me. And now that I'm watching her at almost 6 years old and she's still using that blanket, it really warms my heart. So I want to make the boys a blanket. I've never made my boys a blanket. And of course, I've got baby. So I want to do that. I think now would be the best time to get some flannel or fleece just to get a really good deal since summer is coming. And in addition to that, I need to make a new mini ironing board cover for my ironing board country, sorry. So it is falling apart. It's falling apart. I can't get it to stay put. It falls off. It's stained. It's soiled. It's a mess. And so I thought that would be a cute little fun, non-stressful craft. Take me back to the good old days when I first got started. So I actually have already picked up my fabric and batting for that. It's been sitting in here for maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe? Yeah, I think about 3 weeks. So I want to go ahead and do that as well. And then the next non-apparel piece that I want to start working into my plans are curtains. So when I did my Skillset tour, someone mentioned adding curtains along my workbench. And I had never thought about that because up under my workbench is very clean and organized. It never bothered me, right? But when she mentioned it, I was thinking, hey, that might be something really cute. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to engineer some curtains up under the workbench because I think I have about 1 inch clearance of wood. I also need to figure out how I can get curtains up considering my rolling cart back here and then my mini fridge. So if I'm successful in figuring out how to do that, the mechanisms that I would need or tools or whatever, then I'm thinking about making some curtains. I don't think I've ever made curtains before, so that would be a fun craft. And of course, my #1 sewing client has requested that I make her some scrunchies and some hair bows. So that will add that to the list of the non-apparel crafts or pieces that I want to make. I don't think I've ever made a scrunchie, and I don't know why. I love them just for my wrists, if not for my hair. So I'll be making her some scrunchies and some hair bows, well, hair ties, hair ribbons, anything for my girl, okay? So I'm excited for that. I think she's gonna love it. And of course I'm gonna have her pick out her fabrics and her ribbon and everything like that, and we will be sure to share it with you. I'm sure she would love to share what she picked out for you guys. Now let's get into my batch cutting. So my batch cutting video was a little controversial, okay? I had some comments where people were a little I don't know, I'm not going to say enraged, but they were questioning my methods, and that's cool, but they are my methods, okay? So I'm going to provide an update on that. Of the 7 pieces that I cut in that video, I have made 4 of those garments. I have 3 left, 2 of which will be taken care of this week. So I'm a little over halfway, and I feel like that was pretty successful, in addition to the fact that I added 2 more to the queue, cut those up, and I've already sewn those and shared those on my Instagram. So the batch cutting, it may seem excessive to many, but it just works out for me. It's my system. It's what I have found to be most effective for me. And as I've shared with you, I only have 3 of those makes left. Now, I have 3 of those makes left in addition to the skirt and the black dress that was already pre-cut. The skirt I'm already giving away to someone, don't know who, but I'll be giving that one away to a friend on Facebook. And then the black dress, it's not that I've lost my interest in it. I still want to make it. I'm just eager for springtime, and I'm not going to be wearing that in spring. So that would be one of those projects that when I'm bored and have nothing to do, it's already ready for me to cut up and sew. And I'm pretty sure it'll get made before spring, or yeah, it'll probably get made before spring. I've got about 3 weeks at the time that I'm filming this video. So I'm excited. So once the remaining 3 projects plus 1 or 2 of the ones that were previously in that bin, once those are sewn, then I'll do my next round of batch cutting, and I have a bucket full of goodies. So I will be sharing with you those fabrics and patterns that I'm going to be working on for those as well. Just give me a little bit, got a little more sewing to do. So that's the update on batch cutting. Here we are in March, and I have added 2 more skills to my repertoire. I learned how to understitch. I've seen understitching on so many commercial patterns all last year. I didn't know what it was. I just skipped it. This year, I was working on the Mimi G pattern. I'll put it on the screen. But I was working on that, and I saw it again, but I glossed over it. And then another pattern came up after that, and I was like, let me figure out what this is. Got on YouTube, watched a couple videos. It makes a world of a difference, okay? That's another thing about being self-taught and using your own clothes as a prototype. You don't know these things. You don't know these techniques or these skills. So I'm really happy that I finally just looked it up to figure out what it was. Same thing with slip stitching. I'd never done it. Didn't know what it was. Watched a couple videos, and I slip stitched for my Valentine's Day dress. And that came out wonderfully. For my first time, it came out wonderfully. And understitching has worked out phenomenally. I didn't know there was a way to prevent my facings from being visible around my neckline. Who thinks of that? Anyway, now I know what it is. Now I'm doing it, and I'm loving it because I can see the difference in my garment. So, yay me. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about adding new skills to my skill set. I really am. I'm feeling good about this. This is a really fun hobby for me, and I'm really happy that I'm able to hone in on a craft that makes me feel confident and beautiful and expressive and creative. There's nothing like sewing. There's nothing like it. And I'm sure you guys can relate. So that is that. And the only thing else is that I recently created a TikTok, and I know nothing about TikTok. So you guys go find me out there. Let me know you're there so I can follow you back, so I can get some more sewists on my timeline, because right now I don't know what they're suggesting me, but I'm not interested. So you guys find me on TikTok as well as on Instagram. And I enjoyed this little ramble session. I hope you did too. If so, definitely give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one. As always, I love you for watching.